yeah, like I said, got a shock reservoir for my shock, and has a compression clicker on it, and it makes a huge difference on how this bike operates. What a difference. I've been through the big whoops coming up here, and what a difference. Now we're going to see, how it tracks and runs going through the rocky stuff, sharp impact type of thing. We'll see how it goes. But so far, big rolling whoops, sand whoops with bad holes and stuff, it's worked great. So here we go. Gotta get by a truck now, but that's sit down on the bike and ride through the rough. Sit down good. Almost. Wow. That was so good. I'm excited. Oh yeah, well, that feels really good. I gotta check a spot, see if I've got any leaks on it. There's a spot right here I was pretty concerned about. And from what I see, I'd have a leak. Shock is starting to feel a little different. So I have to take it back apart and maybe a different O-ring size, maybe something else, I don't know. Yeah, that's too bad because this thing is a bear to get the shock out of. They don't give any room really to access. I did find you can, once you pull this cover, you can pull the box back, you can get a socket in there. So it's not impossible, just hard to put back together. Yeah, they could have made this a little different. Yeah, is the shock way better than stock? Yeah. Is it worth going through all this hassle on doing? Probably not. I mean, you know, if I was just trail riding, I wouldn't do it. But, you know, I got to find these things out. There's guys out there that's going to want to do some serious trail riding. This will work. It's really, really good. I just got to put the right... I was kind of wondering about that O-ring, whether I put the right one in it or not. I think I got to go to a different thickness. Maybe even add another washer. That might be the trick. Real close, almost have it. Definitely better than stock. I mean, it's well worth it. This is what I was hoping the bike would be when I got it. So I probably got, let's see, I bought it for $2,200, shipped and everything. I got another about $600 in it. So no, I'd be better off buying an A16 EGL or a GPX 250E, one of those bikes, you know, a K4 KO. I mean, it's a little less money than one of those, but not enough to go through the headache I've gone through to make this work. But at least I know what it does. Now, if the manufacturer wants to listen to me on this, and they do it, they'll have a rock solid bike. But until then, no, you're better off with one of those other bikes. experiment is a success. Unfortunately, I'm blowing the shock oil now out of that seal. It's really blown, and it's really wallowing bad, but it works. That flat works. I just have to get the connection right and keep, make it not bleed. But this bike, it works with that reservoir and adjuster. What a difference. I'm running the adjuster about in the middle. It seems to work really good right there. Haven't played around with it, haven't had time. Just been enjoying the better performance of ride up until now. So I'm going to limp back to the truck, take this home, wash it, and fix it the rest of the way. And I'll have a damn good suspension system. I mean, it's as close as a 10-inch travel bike's going to get to a Yamaha or KTM with that setup. So now I'm close to being on par with them. So I'm really happy with that. It's as good as it's going to get. So yeah, I didn't need to get a Racetech shock or any of that stuff. Just put that reservoir on it with the clicker and bang, there it is. But that does take a lot of machining and a lot of work to do. It's not simple. And when I tore apart the shock, there's a piston in there that separates the nitrogen from the oil because it is nitrogen charged. So you have to pull that piston out when you put the shock reservoir on. In case anybody tries this. But I doubt it. I mean, the stock shock, it's okay for this thing for the price. But this bike is so capable, and that's why I've gone to this measure to modify it. With the fast ace forks and now the shock reservoir. And I really like it with the setup. But is it worth it over buying an EGLA 16 or a GPX 250E or KO K4? No, I don't think so. I just spent a little bit more money and get those bikes. It's well worth the extra penny or two. This isn't bad though, and if it's your first time bike, it is excellent in stock condition. It gives you a really good feel of the ground, and when you're learning, that's very important. And it's lower, it sits a little lower with the other with stock suspension, and it makes a great beginner bike. It's fantastic. You can go a while, and then you can go with the fork mod. That's worth throwing in the 4 and something and have the front end properly done. You might want to take that to a shop to get it done, but in the end, it's worth it. Yeah, it's a great beginner's bike because it comes with a great motor. The motor is just fantastic. Even with the stock carb, you don't need to put on that other carburetor. I mean, that's just marginally better, and just for top end, not for low end. So, a beginner bike, perfect with what it's got. It's the way to go. And then with this setup, hey, there's no real limit here. You can do anything. I mean, as much as this motor will take you. It's pretty decent. that shot's pretty shot.